Good evening and welcome back to the Mancunian Way. My name is Martin. I'm your host. I am the attention seeker, apparently. Whoa, 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 whoa. Good evening, Pat. How are you, mate?
Good. Thanks. Yeah, I got to enjoy the show. I'm just not going to give you the attention you deserve or think you deserve.
I know.
Yeah.
It's terrible, this attention seeking. We've got a new guest in the background, Pat.
Who's that?
Shall we introduce him to the brand new guest of the Mancunian Way, the brand new panelist?
Yeah, okay.
Good evening. How are you? Is your name Rich?
It is.
How are you, Rich?
I'm a bit disturbed because I got onto the background and there's someone going, ooh, 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 ooh. Look at me.
There's no need in that. Really no need in that. Anyway, are you a long-time subscriber, long-time listener?
I was on the last show we did, wasn't I?
I don't know. You come and go as you want now.
Back by popular demand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Co-owner's not in Rich's contract. He missed that part out.
I've got a very good contract, like Winston Bigarde.
Who?
He played for Chelsea for 4 years.
Yeah, I know who you meant, but it's not how you just said that.
I've got his contract.
Say that again. What was his name?
Winston Bigarde. He's Dutch.
Not Winston Bogart.
No, that's Humphrey Bogart. You're getting him mixed up with.
Good evening to everyone in the chat. Mingy Wong, FIFA, DC, Connor, Adam, Pat's in the chat even, Connor Rigby, Dash, Part of Oaks, a beautiful game, everyone in the house. Hello, hope you are all well. Lovely to see you all. We're kicking it off. MCFC, as he always does, dropping the super chat. Thank you so much, mate. Yes, Martin, hope all is well. Big win that. Also, I think can be also happens this month. I don't think it's coincidence Juve are linked with so many defenders. I've not heard anything. I can give you my opinion, my thoughts. But appreciate that. Really do appreciate that kind super chat. The fees met by City and Leicester agreed to do a deal in the summer. Evening, David. How are you, mate? Hope you are well. Just said a few hellos and then we'll get into it. My apologies, by the way, that we've delayed this stream so much. Sunday, you were getting nothing, no chance. I didn't get back till very, very late because there was a lot of road closures. And I had to stop more than once. And then yesterday, I just did a lot of sleeping. And then, so, yeah. It's been a mad one. So we're back today. You're going to get 2 streams today. You're going to get this one. And immediately following this, we are going to go live to Big Up straight away onto Big Up, where we're going to do a analytical viewpoint of the Ipswich game. And we'll also maybe do a little bit of a calling show for half an hour. So if you want to join, I will send the link in later on. So you're going to get 2 for 1. You'll get post-match tomorrow, and you'll get Thursday night chat as well. So, yeah, there you go. Apologies to Ozzy. His little girl is not very well. She has chicken pox, and so we wish Ozzy and a very, very quick, speedy recovery. So that's why Ozzy's not here as well. So if you do want to come on and have your say on everything said, because we will probably talk about Ushanov, Victor Hayes, who is here. They are all signed. Victor Hayes taking up that City legend. That is old Richard Dunninho, the very famous 22. Richard Dunn would be proud of Victor Hayes. And Abdikir Ushanov taking the number 45. Both signing 4.5-year deals. Omar Mamouche has also done his medical today. And Juma Bar has virtually completed his move to RC Lens, where he will go on loan until the summer. And then we'll make a decision on where he comes in the summer. But yeah, so City have made 4 signings, 5 if you want to include Echeverria, and there may be another 1 or 2 in yet.
Yes, 6, because haven't we signed the New York left
Yeah.
back as well.
McCarthy or whatever his name is.
All right. Jeez, I didn't know we were including kindergarten. Well, then again, we're signing 18-year-olds. It's nice seeing me on Ian Cheeseman's. Do you know what? I had no idea he was going to do that till he appeared. I went, yeah, all right. I had a chat with him the next week. You want to be on my vlog? I went, all right, then. This big, fat, hairy guy just appeared on his vlog. But yeah. Go on, Rich. You want to say something like that? Look, you
No.
You're desperate to say something.
I was just imagining some big fat hairy guy on Ian Cheeseman's show. You know, no comment.
Cheeseman and the Gruffalo.
Connor, I love the way you put that. Martin, have you heard Manchester City have agreed deal say 18-year-old Juma Bar? Listen, I've never claimed to be an ITK, never will claim to be an ITK. This is the only deal I actually had ITK news on, because I was literally speaking to the actual man involved in it. That if you've been in the spaces, you know who I mean. He was involved in it, and he has made me a very kind offer that I will take up in the next few days. So he's watching. Big up, you know who you are. I'm not going to say the name on here. But yeah, Juma Bar was the one I did know about. That was the one I had like concrete info. That was not even guessing. That was direct from the horse's mouth. Anyway, right. So, a few of those, then we'll get straight into it because there's loads to talk about. Ian Formidable, hello Spartacus. How are you, mate? Benny's in the building. A up Blue Armour. City Original, evening people. Luke's in all the way from Paris. By the way, if you are in Paris, I hope you're having a lovely time and you're staying safe. Have a great time. I know Luke, not in my lifetime's out there with Jack Lee and Harry, Briggser, etc. I know Big Steve, Daps are all out there. City Luke TV's gone out. Everyone's gone out to Paris. Literally, nearly everyone I know has gone to Paris. I'm actually
there is a possibility it might be our last European away day for the season. So I think they're just trying to get it in. They're just trying to get it. They're trying to get at least one more in.
You might get the playoffs as well.
Yeah.
Good evening, Alternative Facts as well. Good evening, Mike. Can we thank Bournemouth for their part? Wonderful weekend for us. We can. They slapped it. Bonsoir, Luke. Now, can I BB, evening all. Smash that like button indeed. Simo Sups is in the building. Good evening. SOS, the legend, is in the building. Hope you are well, mate. Kushek is in the building. Hello, all. Bonsoir. I don't speak French. Sorry. Adam, so kind of you, mate, to gift 5 channel memberships. You are a superstar, mate. So kind. Really appreciate that. Really, it's more appreciated than you realise. I'm professional happy clapper who has got an emoji of me. Professional Martin happy clapper has renewed his membership.
No, that's just 6 months. That's just you proving your attention seeking.
Did you read the tweet as well?
Which one?
Yeah, no, because someone tweeted me. An old school City fan said that my space was full of plastic City fans and one genuine City fan who loves attention.
And did you agree with them, or?
No, I just said I'm not getting involved in all that in a bit.
No,
what about Cleachy 22? I had a bit of a debate with the guy about, you know, the what the 1894 have talked about with the real Mallorca fans, which has caused a bit of a shitstorm over there.
No, I don't know.
No.
Did you not know?
Who was it? No. Mallorca.
Basically, it's been confirmed. It's got to a point where Natalie Pikes sadly had to even leave Twitter due to her defending the club. You know, it's opinions, and I get that. It's getting silly out there at the minute. Civil war is really going crazy. Never seen so many City fans leaving Twitter at the moment. But there was 6 or 7 real Mallorca fans who had been gifted tickets from one of the coaches, first team coaches, and they were all in yellow mustardy coloured beanie hats, which fine, but they made a big hoo-ha about they were Real Mallorca fans, and it didn't go down well with everyone.
All right.
So then you got how come genuine City fans can't get tickets, but real Mallorca fans can.
Yeah.
He is a big lad, Pardo. He's 6'4". He's 6'4". Good evening, Blue Hat. How are you, my old mucker? How much do you bet the swamp can be asked? So no, we've not officially bidded yet. I don't believe anyway. We know the guy. We know the guy, Martin. Big up to him. Yeah. You know me, Dash. I'm just keeping it quiet. I was sharing it with you, and that was it. Juma Bar, 6'5", right-footed centre back. Very, very good. We just done that one. Oh yeah, I forgot to do this. Sorry, I've not done this for a few days.
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
There you go. Good evening, Lee Johnson. Good evening, Marshy Boy. How are you, mate? Captain Harris is in the building. Martin, look at this. We heard that Jack Lee's been chat about. Yes, he won't go anywhere though. There is no truth in the Borussia Dortmund stuff. Good evening, Cathay. Not for January anyway. Kelster, cheeky going out with a bang. That will be incredible. So when they're doing it in January, even more impressive. Listen, Cheeky's going out with a statue. The guy's come back with a bang. Oh, by the way, did you see somebody else at the CFA today? Who else was there? Fernandinho.
Doris, the tea lady.
No, Fernandinho.
Yeah, she gave
Martin on his Segway chasing Mamouche.
Yeah, Martin going on the Etihad. What is that? Camera.
Can you sign this? I need a new prize for a competition.
Hey, maybe just keep an eye on that. Just let me sort some. Anyway, how many subs? We're 30 subs away from 5. Have you heard Mamouche has signed a contract? I know he's done his medical. He has probably signed it. So what's your opinion, Martin, on the Cambiasso thing? Right, we'll get into some of the signings and we'll come to Ipswich because I know everyone's very, very excited. We'll go into it. Uchinoff is in, 4.5-year deal. Victor Hayes is in, 4.5-year deal. One's wearing 45, one's wearing 22. Juma Bar is in, but going to RC Lons as part of the Uchinoff deal. Apparently, Juma Bar has bought himself out of his own contract. He's done a Neymar, apparently. But that's all agreed, done. I got a DM, which I can show people. I have to cover up the name, but I can show you the DM. On that one, that's ticked off. Mamouche is in today, done his medical. Seems everything hung, drawn, dandy, ticked off. And then Cambiasso, we don't know where we're at. It looks like
hung, drawn, and dandy.
I was caught.
Such a good punishment. You're hanging, you're drawn, and then just as you're about to get courted, you get dandy. Oh, look, I'm all hanging drawn.
I was going to say something else, realised what I said, and had to stop it. I had to stop it. But anyway, yeah. Martin LB on his watch long site. So go on then, gentlemen. Where you at with the signings? Because they're in. We're off. Official. And Pep said today they can play straight away. They're ready to go.
Well, they're all match fit and everything. So, I think Hayes has played 18 games in the league for Palmeiras this season, and Kusanov's played 13, I think. So they're both fit and ready to go. And I think, we need them as much as to provide some coverage for our defenders to get fit. Diaz is back, and I'd be much happier with one of the youngsters playing alongside Diaz than anyone else. So I think that's a positive as well. But I suspect, Mamouche is going to be making a lot bigger impact in terms of starts than the youngsters are. And I suspect Uzanov's more likely, being a much more physical player than Heiss is, to get more time, but we will see. But so it's exciting. I'm also interested to see, Echeverry. I mean, everyone's assuming he's not going to play at all, but, he has played something like 50 appearances for River Plate in the last sort of 12 months or so. So he's also, ready to go if he's Premier League quality. So it's exciting times. But we're all still waiting with bated breath about the midfielder, aren't we? Because the signings are almost going in reverse order of magnitude. So if we are going to make a splash, it's most likely to be on the midfielder or the Walker replacement.
I am just starring some of your comments. I'm not ignoring them. We're going to come back to some of the questions in a bit because we are going to talk about PSG. I know people are asking about Doku and all that because obviously he's injured. And we will. But the rating of the transfer window we'll do on Thursday's show when they're all in and we're confirmed and we can go through it.
I thought we should wait to do a rating until the 4th when the window's closed.
Yeah, that's a bad
idea. No point rating it now, and then we get another 2 or 3 through the door.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, no, so we'll rate it at the end. Yes, Docker is injured. But John Stones
or Martin, we do a rating knowing full well that knowing our luck, there will be a bunch of signings still come through. Oh, guys, we're gonna have to redo this.
No update. Do you know what I'd say on Cambiasso? If anyone's asking, there's no update. I would watch what Juventus are doing now. Because if Juventus are buying players when they've already made it public, they haven't got a lot of money, it means they're making signings knowing money's coming in.
Yeah, and there's a couple of other things there. Like there's rumours of a slight falling out between Cambiasso and the club. And there's
according to Italian reports, because English media are saying there is no fallout, Rich.
Yeah, according to Italian media, and the Italian media, or the leaks to the Italian media suggesting Juventus are open to a sale. So Juventus are obviously trying to prepare their fans that he could go. And the fact that they're talking to lots of other players and desperate for a centre-back also implies they're happy their end. So, I don't know why we'd be talking to them in January about a July deal. I mean, we wouldn't be wasting our time unless we are.
No, Rich. January. No, Rich. We are talking to 1 or 2 players about summer as well.
We will, but that'll be a lower priority because we've got 6 months to do that.
We are going to talk about this. I'm going to leave the gentlemen to decide whether we do this on Thursday or tonight. I'm saying Thursday more, Pardo, because then when we know the number more, because I've got a very good point on this. I'm going to touch on it tonight because I've got a point in O'Reilly and McAtee tonight that I'm going to bring up when we get into the Ipswich part, mate. So I am going to come back to that because I think that's a very, very bang-on point at the moment. Pat, where you at with Ushinov and Mamouche and Victor Hayes?
Impressive scouting, I don't know to what extent we would have considered pursuing these players, without Hugo Viana around. I'm sure he had a strong influence at least one of these signings. But I'm just more impressed by the fact that we're willing to put faith in scouting for these new young up-and-coming talents than spending more than what the combined amount was for Victor Hayes and Kuzhinov, to try and get some big established centre-back too. So, look, I think... it looks like these guys have a very high ceiling. Got plenty of time to develop them as well. I think I'll just ask one thing of all fans: is just be patient with these guys. They're not going to turn into Stones and Diaz partnership like they did when they first started playing together about 4 seasons ago. So they're going to take time. But sorry, what do you mean?
Are we not on for the title?
Oh, we'll take. I'm not talking about the title. I'm talking about players. But anyway,
that's what I mean. If they're coming in, they're going to hit the ground running. We're off for the title. That's what I've read everywhere.
All right, fine, okay, yeah, okay. We'll wrap the league up in April. Yeah, no worries, fine.
He doesn't get sarcasm, does he? It must be an Aussie thing.
No, but you're just proving your point with get attention seeking. But anyway,
who crawled out the dickhead bed tonight?
Now, look, I love the idea of people think of January transfer windows as the sort of thing when you need to fix a problem right now, and it's like, these players to an extent will fix a problem right now, but we're also preparing for the future too, which I think is just great business as well. Once the midfielders come in, everybody I'm sure is going to be a lot happier about this window, but there's certainly a lot of upsides with these 2 players that we've signed, and having Mamouche come through the door probably in the next 24 hours, like publicly at least. It's just going to fill everybody with even more confidence. So
it's not called Mamouche. It's called the Egyptian King.
Okay, so Omar Mamouche,
How long do we give all the Scouse channels before they do a special on how Salah's
Salah
the best
versus
Egyptian,
Mamouche.
how Salah's the best Egyptian player in the Premier League by a mile.
I think
and
Anfield and Gender have already done it.
How he only cost 30 million or 35 million, and Mamouche cost 50.
Is a pharaoh really a king? Trying to dissect ancient Egyptian hierarchy, or monarchy.
Can I just say, by the way, I appreciate that, but that is something me, Rich, and Ozzy and Pat are very strong on. That is something we'll always do. We had 500 people in here the other night, and we went through every comment. We will do. If you guys take the time, you don't have to super chat or do membership to get a comment or a question asked. We're not in it. This is what I mean. This is why I get annoyed with the attention-seeking bullshit. We don't do this for us. We do it for you. That is something me, Pat, and Rich, and Ozzy are so... Yeah, we joke and we have banter, but we are actually very serious on that point about our channel. Is that it's your channel. Belongs to you. We are the faces, but it belongs to you, and we will answer every single thing. May not be always on time. I know I'm slow with emails, but you will always get a response back. This is why we notice I answer every single comment underneath the videos as well. Because, you lot take the time to write it, we should take the time to respond to it. But anyway, definitely need to get an interpreter for us, By the way, he smiled today. Did you see that? He had a right old smile on him next to Phil Foden in the training video.
I was thinking he was the new Kolarov. He's going to be doing like Wolf Christmas specials and stuff because he was so straight and deadpan the entire interview. It was hilarious. And they're asking him a question that's a bit the same as the previous one, and he just goes, obviously I can't do it in Uzbek, but as I previously said, it was gold. I have to have a look at Heist's today, see if that's as funny.
Walker.
Do you know what I think Kuzanov will be with the English and the translation and things like that? I'm imagining already in his first week there, that's like Phil Foden's already trying to teach him like Mancunian talk. Like remember that segment years ago when they had Yaya Toure on talking about trying to talk in Mancunian? So like he's reading that book and it says, "Look at his jazzy kicks."
When he starts coming out with the
he's going to teach Kuzanov the same thing.
He starts wearing cagoules and goes,
"What's his bobbins?"
The major question you got to ask him: is it a chip balm, a chip muffin? What is it? That's when you'll know whether he's proper Mancunian.
Yeah, but I have to say, that's one thing I've missed about Kolarov, because the best material on City's,
the Christmas content,
was during Kolarov's time.
Yeah,
formidable. Can you DM me if you follow me on Twitter? Can you DM me that video? I need to watch it. I knew he'd do something. They are shitting themselves over this 115. It is hilarious. I've never seen so many people shit themselves over it. Oh my god! I thought Brent would be in a happy mood, seeing as his team's joint second. Why is he not happy? Anyway, right? Ipswich. I've got to say, I'm over the moon with the signings. I think Usherov will be. I thought they might have signed a bit longer than 4.5 years. 4.5 years seems a bit low, or maybe I've just got used to this 10-year Cole Palmer early now and stuff.
Do you think? Do you think it'll be like a Laporte situation where I think he initially only got 4 or 5 years, and then because he started so well for the first season and a half, they just redid his contract and gave him the higher salary. I think they'll do the same thing with them if they hit the ground running in a year's time.
You've got to remember, we don't know if they're we know Haaland is Haaland. But we don't know if these kids are going to make it. They could be phenomenal. They could make Mangala look like Maldini. So we've just got to see how they settle into
Mangala done to you. Of course,
I think. I was actually to be fair, I think I saw his only brilliant performance because I was at the Chelsea game where he dominated Costa. So I've only seen Mangala play his best game for City. So I shouldn't complain.
The other person, Rich, the only person who's dominated Costa more is Martin.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I had a paddy on Sunday night. There was no coffee shops open. There was no coffee shops. A Sunday night, coming back from East Anglia, there was no coffee shops open. Even the services were shut. I thought services were open 24/7. Not down there, they're not.
DF Costa and Starbucks on speed dial. Are you still open? No, piss off.
Yeah, what would you be able to expect in Ipswich? Like it's tractor boy country.
Anyway, as you all know, I do apologise.
You'd be able to get some freshly squeezed milk straight out of a cow, I'm sure.
I got tickets.
And raw milk's better for you too.
I got tickets very late.
According to RFK.
I'm apologising here, Rich, for no watch along. There was no watch along because I got the Iggy on the tickets very late Saturday night. I know a lot of people were helping me. My son had a ball. He was even more excited when he found out he'd been on TV about 4 times. He thought that was amazing. Because for some, by the way, big up to the Ipswich Town head of security who was amazing with us. We had tickets separated and he got us together. It was amazing. He literally looked after us. Wasn't keen on my singing by the end because when we were singing about Ed Sheeran being a you-know-what, didn't go down well, I don't think. I think that went down, going down with United. Don't think he was happy about that. Good evening, Faye. I'm going to speak to you very soon. I think Pat sent you the images. I've given Pat feedback on mine. 1 or 2 we can't do for copyright issues. I don't think we'll get away with 1 or 2 of them.
You did say Pat sent images, not Alan, didn't you?
Yes, no. Pat sent actual professional stuff. There was no images or anything wrong. But honestly, Fee, some of them were amazing.
It still sounds sinister when you said that.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just clarifying for the audience.
You kind of screwed. No matter which way you put it. Pat sent some graphics. Pat sent some graphic images. Pat said, "No, I didn't."
Don't know. I know Juventus are playing now. Don't ask him what a Manchester Tar is. Brent is too busy crying. Let's get into the Ipswich game. Right. Obviously, went down there. Now, when I saw the starting 11 and I heard Noaki was injured again, I went, "Oh, for God's sake. This poor guy's just not going to get a break this year. The only break he's going to get is broken bone." But yeah, I looked at the midfield and I'm going to be honest. Excuse my French. I shit myself when I saw that midfield. I thought we were going to be slow, problematic. I thought we were going to get overrun again. And it was complete opposite. He seems to like this Nunes at right wing back role at the minute. He seems to like a little bit of that. Which I understand. I think it gives Foden a little bit more freedom. Not sure if it works. We'll talk about that later on the analytical side of it. But I was a bit umming and ahhing with it. Good to see Bernardo have a rest. What was your initial thoughts of that starting 11? Was you like me, worried, or was you like, yeah, I'm all right with that?
I think it was depending on how they set up as well, because sometimes you see the team and you think, those 11 players look reasonable, and it's only when you really look into it that you think, that's got an average age in midfield of 33 or something, because I think it was very old. I like Nunes is adding, I think in some ways, along with Phil, he's the best with the legs to go box to box. So when you do see Nunes, he does track back well. So in terms of going back to that right back role, he does tend to track back a little bit quicker and faster than Rico, because I think his top speed's probably a bit higher, and I think also he doesn't get quite as caught up in the middle and into the box, so he's able to defend quicker. But I think there are a lot of positives to the team as well. Starting to see, it's good to see Doku in, because he's really started to hit some form. I think seeing Diaz back, I think is vital, because I do think that in some ways him and Stones have been the rocks of our defence, and having one of them in the team is having that real experienced world-class centre-back. So I think that's a positive. So, and I was really pleased to see Eddie back, because I know there's some things going on behind the scenes. I know we may not have him for that much longer, but Ederson is.
I didn't like it.
goalkeeper.
I didn't like it. And that's, by the way, before you start on the Ederson hate, I don't hate Ederson. You know, my concern with it is I hate this swapping goalies every other game stuff. I think it upsets your back line. I don't think it works. You should have a goalkeeper and a league keeper. This 1 in, 1 out, you make a mistake, you're in, you're out. It doesn't help.
I don't look at it like that. I look at it as Ederson's our number 1 keeper, and it's his shirt, and Ortega had it for a little while. Whether there is truth in the injury or whether it was form or whatever it is, Ederson gets his shirt back, you know, in time for the Champions League, etc. And I just think Ederson is, you know, for City at least, a better goalkeeper than Ortega. So I'm pleased to see him back, because I want us to go into the end of the season with Ederson playing. You know, if we want to get top 4, we want to go deep in the Champions League. I think that's what we need. Yeah. And you know, the other thing is, you know, and this is perhaps getting into the game rather than the starting, is De Bruyne smiling again. You know, you saw a few smiles from De Bruyne, and I think that's one of the first times this season he's looked like a bit like, you know, his old self, a bit more energy, smile on his face. So, you know, let's cross our fingers, our toes, throw salt of our shoulders, hung, drawn, and dandy, or whatever else we're going to do, and make sure he stays fit.
Yes, I'm going Chelsea again. Pat, I mean, you can go into the game if you want. I was just worried about the midfield. I obviously got proven wrong. It's not the first time Martin's been proven wrong. I'm more wrong than I am right. But yeah, you know, I call them all old fogies in the midfield, and they all proved me wrong.
Yeah, well, Kovacic, Gundogan, and Kevin De Bruyne. That's our Centurion midfield at the moment. So, but for a different reason. Look, yeah, it was. I have to say, it was probably one of the most. It's certainly Kovacic and Gundogan. It's probably easily their best game since probably the start of the season. And you know, usually start of the season you take it with a pinch of salt, because I think everybody's trying to get up to speed with the football. But no, I was more impressed, if anything, by the tempo in which we played. I just didn't seem we didn't play as much stop-start. We were always looking to try and get on the front foot. Usually our midfielders, Gundogan, Kovacic, Kevin De Bruyne, were all trying to, you know, receive passes from out the back on the front foot, or always looking to try and get forward. I was really impressed with the link-up play between Doku and Kevin De Bruyne at times there, especially in the first half. You know, leading to those two, Phil Foden goals, you know, just carbon copies of each other. But I said on an LB show a couple of days ago, I said what really impressed me about that link-up play between Doku and Kevin is if we're hoping that Kevin stays on for another season, then, you know, if we can start seeing this sort of link-up play more regularly between now and the end of this season, then, you know, that's some good form, you know, going into we could take in towards next season and build a lot of momentum for hopefully a lot more successful season than what this one has been. But yeah, just little things to take away from that. Mateus Nunes, again, you know, I did like the idea of the wing-back thing. He seemed to really expand the pitch, which I've always said too. I like it when we try to expand the pitch a bit more when we play on, say, a smaller ground than say the Etihad is. So yeah, look, if he's doing this at this stage of the season, then maybe there is more of an argument to say maybe in the coming months or the next season or two, we might start going back to that old, you know, 3-5-2 Benjamin Mendy days that Pep had always talked about, you know. So yeah, I just try to take like the rough with the smooth on all these games now, and, you know, just the pace of playing, the tempo was something that gave me a lot of confidence going into PSG, and then those tough fixtures that we got coming up into February. So I'll just take it as it is. I mean, and some people say, no, it's only Ipswich, but you got to remember, Ipswich have been a bit plucky over the last few weeks. You know, they got a win against Chelsea. They managed to get a draw away at Fulham, which not a lot of teams have been able to do this season. So they certainly weren't slouches. I just think they may have come in with a slightly different game plan, or the wrong game plan in a way, because, you know, I think, you know, with something that was lacking, you know, a lot of this season was just the tempo and the pace of play. And, you know, to see that finally, it's annoying that it took until January to start seeing like really good high tempo sort of football being played. Was just something
I think
gives me a lot of confidence for the rest of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, possibly with the exception of Southampton, I think the Premier League overall, I think the standard this season is incredible. I honestly think if you look at the likes of mid-table teams, although some of them are pushing up to the top, the likes of Bournemouth and Brentford, those two teams have impressed me incredibly, and they're teams that people take for granted. And I think the fact that United with their £2 billion squad, and Tottenham with their £1 billion squad, the fact that they're really struggling to stay out of the relegation, and that those two clubs are both on the cusp of relegation, the fact that's happening, I think, says to me that this is probably overall, and I'm not necessarily saying that the teams at the top are as good as they have been. I don't think Liverpool and City are as good as 5 years ago, but I think the overall standard of that division is the highest it's ever been. The coaching in the mid-tables of so many of those clubs, and some of the young foreign players that have been brought in is incredible. So I don't think anyone can take Ipswich for granted. I think anyone could go there and lose if they have a good day. And I think you saw with Bournemouth's result this weekend, Bournemouth have now beaten City and Arsenal and won away at Newcastle. There's some incredible football. Brentford, I think, are a brilliant side. I don't think Brentford are that far off the Leicester team that won the league.
See, I'm going to be honest with you. I am starring your starting lineups when we come to the PSG part. The one thing I will say, I think there's a little bit of snobbery in the Premier League. I will say that. I think there was a lot of... It's only Ipswich. This is the same Ipswich who Arsenal only beat 1-0. The same Ipswich that slapped Chelsea 2 weeks ago. We've got to stop this. No team this season has slapped Ipswich like that. No one. I was talking to an Ipswich fan after the game and they said, you are the best team that's been here all season. And we've been crap for the last 2 months. So I think we've got to come away. Newcastle had won 9 in a row. They were on a club record 10 in a row, and they got slapped by Bournemouth. People are looking at the Premier League like it's a gimme, because what they're doing is they're looking where the teams are in the league and then going, oh, that's easy. Yes, United beat Southampton 3-1, but Southampton should have been 4 up by half time.
Yep.
People are looking at the result and they're not looking at the context of the games and what's going on within them.
Yeah, and straight looking at conclusion time and reading the whole story.
There's a lot of people that are either watching highlights of the game or they're watching it on SofaScore. They're not looking at the actual context. Ilkay Gundogan ran the show on Sunday. Ran it. I've never seen him move. He looked like he was 25 again, the way he was moving.
But do you not just think, Martin, that's because he's been given a bit of a rest? Like I think.
I'll tell you why it is, Rich, and you're going to hate me for this, because there wasn't a Portuguese slow coach next to him. I'm sorry, I'm going to sound like I'm hating here, but Bernardo Silva does not tackle. He runs round. He is an absolute legend. Will not take it away. But this season, Rich, he is offering nothing in our midfield.
I think you'll see with Bernardo, the same as you'll see with Gundo, that when Bernardo actually gets a decent bit of rest, which I think he'll get now, I think you'll see Bernardo playing far more effective. I think that Gundo was being played twice a week when, at his age, he probably is going to be at his best if he plays once every 10 days or something. So plays every other league game. And I think Bernardo's been overplayed. Bernardo's been overplayed for 7 consecutive seasons. But, he, again, needs a bit of a rest. And I think that's what we'll see them improve.
But Doku was exceptional. Foden was good. KDB was back to his old self. Gundogan was good. Kovacic was good. There was one player in the whole team, the starting 11, that I had doubts over for the first 20 minutes. And that was Matheus Nunes. And I'm not hating, but I've defended Nunes more than anyone. But Davies had the freedom of their left-hand side for the first 20 minutes. Nunes never got close to him. Never got close. And all of us are sat there going, cut him out. Because what he was doing was, Nunes was going inside to Akanji's man more than he was going to Davies. He was standing off Davies by 10 yards.
But that, Martin, if you watch every game we've played this season, that is a tactical thing. because Lewis.
I don't like zonal marking. I hate zonal
I know,
marking.
but our right backs have always pulled in and they're defending just behind, one of the strikers. That we are always giving players space out wide. So it's a tactical thing. People were screaming at Lewis for it a few weeks ago. They screamed at Walker for it. So it's 110% a tactical thing, and it's therefore down to Pep. But I just, I think we need to think of that as a team, because it does frustrate me how many goals this season have come from someone getting space behind our defence down their left wing, particularly.
Good evening, Rose. Hope you are well. And to Julie as well. Nunes at right. Listen, I'm not saying it was bad, but Lenny, you with that. And can I just say, by the way, I'm presuming, Lenny, you were the person who waved at me and you came in. There was who's got me on in the background?
That's not me.
Rich, what are you doing?
Okay. Well, my headphones just went off, so I just turned them back on.
Oh, that's why, yeah. So I ended up going out loud. There was 2 or 3 people said hello to me on Sunday, and I didn't know who you were. Please come and tell me who you are. I feel so rude when 2 people walk past me. You're right, Martin. I'm like, hiya. And I didn't know who they were. Please come and say hello. Just say hello. I want to speak with people. I want to chat football. I'm not doing this for celebrity status. Doing this because I want to meet people, say hello.
Yeah, you want the attention.
No, I'm not. Don't stop doing that. Listen, by the way, I love Bernardo. Before I get all the Bernardo hates, I love Bernardo. I'm just saying, my issue with Bernardo is Bernardo doesn't trap back and tackle and help. Gundo's having to do it. And then Gundo just had his role to do. Kovacic had his role to do. Bernardo's everywhere, all over the midfield. And I think they cover each other's spaces sometimes. That was just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But just because I'm saying a player looked better without a player there doesn't mean I hate that other player. But anyway, I was over the moon. I thought Doku, we were playing the ball in front of him rather than to him. So he was using the pace to run onto the ball. I mean, you look at the first couple of goals from Phil Foden. It was quick, intercepting, passing. Doku, KDB, one-touch passing, quick, aggressive, tempo, aggression. It was everything we crave. We weren't just doing 500 passes in the midfield. We got the ball forward with a purpose. I loved it. It got me going. I was like, come on, I'll have some of this.
And it's interesting, Foden's comments after the game as well about playing back with a smile on his face, and, his comments that the dressing room has come back together. Yeah, that was interesting in itself, so alluding to things obviously being the case last year within the dressing room, and whether that's down to, Kyle's issues or Pep's issues or whatever it may be. But, he really did say the dressing room was back together. So that was kind of interesting because, I thought he'd have given a more political answer, but I think Phil's, doesn't always think quite like that.
Yeah, appreciate that, Linda. Lovely to meet you, mate. You should have come and said hello. Honestly, don't just come and say hello. Let me buy you a beer for supporting. I'd love to do that. Shouted you just for a kiss so you could at least put a face. No, I appreciate that, Linda. I really do. Someone did it to me. I was walking back to the car and someone went past with his daughter and went, "Hi, Martin." And I'm like, what? I didn't know who they were. They were gone by the time I'd even turned round. I find it rude when I can't put a name to people, that's all. How serious? I don't know, just Doku, I don't know, but it's a shame because I thought Doku, that was his best ever game. And say, I know everyone will say, Bournemouth, he scored these amount of goals and this amount of assists. On Sunday, Doku didn't do anything bad.
You know what it was, Martin? That was the first proper game we've seen him play with his head, not with his feet.
Spot on. Spot on. And I think, and by the way, does Kovacic score tap-ins or does he just score thunder bastards? Are him and Rodri just going to score thunders.
I think because they stay on the edge of the area and outside the box, they're always only going to score great goals because Kovacic is never in there on the 6-yard line. He's always waiting just outside the penalty area. So I think because he's preparing for the break, isn't he?
Yep.
So
Fernandinho used to be the same thing too. If you just get one of those loose balls like cleared away from a corner in that, usually you just wait until Fernandinho comes into the shot, into the camera shot, and then pause, and then he just hit, and then he just hoofs it, and then usually ends up in the back of the net.
Yeah, I just thought it was a really mature, like that's a very mature display from him. Gundogan roll, but like I said, there wasn't. And then Haaland got his goal. Got his goal. And you know what was even lovelier? In the 60th minute, we took everybody off. We brought the youngsters on, which was good. I was impressed with them all. I really, really do like this Steven Mbamba. I think I love him. I think he's going to be a baller wherever he ends up, whether it's at City long term or he ends up somewhere else. I think the guy's going to be a baller. I think he looks like Liam Delap, but better for me.
There were times there he was actually dropping back, like in a way that you just don't see Haaland do.
Yeah,
he just seems to read the game. He seems to read the game reasonably well. He's plucky as well. I mean, I think I had a little bit of. I think it was just a little bit of inexperience when we played Salford because he did get caught offside a few times. But like this time around, he just seemed to be, it was always on the front foot and looking to try and help either help create something or be a part of the finished product basically. So yeah, the kid's got such a ceiling ahead of him, and I think I have no problems if we decide to hold on to him for a season or two. I mean, he's only 18 or 19 years of age, I think. Like sure at that age, you probably want to get a bit more game time, but at the same time too, it's like if he's going to be an understudy to Haaland playing under Pep, the guy's just going to learn so much for his career going forward. So if we can hold on to him as a second striker for two, share the second striker duties with Mamouche, then I'm all for that. I think the kid shows a lot of potential, and he could be a good little asset for us for the next couple of seasons.
Question for you both. Rich, work emails will come in a minute. Relax, put them down. Nico Riley.
He was sloppy on Sunday.
I don't think right now with these new players coming in, he's going to make it at the minute. I think he needs a loan somewhere for 6 months for the rest of the season. Because do you know what he looked like? Every time I watched O'Reilly, he's very composed and he's very good with the ball. On Sunday, I don't know whether it was the situation he came into, because you're 6-0 up and you're like, right, we can take the piss here, and just he looked like a kid who was getting to get giddy, and he was trying to shoot from silly angles. He was trying to take people on. He was trying balls that he would never have tried if it was at 0-0. And I'm like, no, just because you're 6-0 up, relax, just do your game. You don't need to be doing what you do. It looked like he was trying to impress too much and trying to get onto the score sheet.
Mm.
That's all I'm saying about him. I'm not saying he's a bad player. That was the worst part I've seen him play when he's come on. I'm normally big up Nico Riley, but Sunday, I thought just everything about that game was wrong for him. No, I might be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I think for Nico, I think he's going to have to be around the squad for quite a long time, because I do think those in a Pep side, if you're going to come into central midfield, you're absolutely vital to the whole flow of the team. And so I think it would be the hardest position to ever come in and get a lot of game time for Pep. And I think even that's why, McAtee, Pep's always going to want to use him wide up front. If he ever starts, he's only going to be getting midfield 10 type role if we're 4 or 5 up. And the one thing I'll say is one thing McAtee has, which our side does lack a bit, which I think is why I hope he stays around. Is McAtee is very good at, not comparing him to
Good
Lampard,
goal, Rich.
but he's
Lovely
very
ever.
good. Yeah, he's very good at getting into the right place at the right time and getting a goal. And he's shown that now. What is it? 6 goals, in very little game time. That he knows how to get on the end of a ball. And that's one thing City lack. That's one thing, with the exception of Haaland. We've got a lot of brilliant players in the team, but they're not great at getting goals. And so having him, if he continues to improve physically, as a potential player to come on and get a goal, and if we're 1-0 down in a big game and we need back, I think McAtee does offer something different. But I think O'Reilly's going to have to be around the squad for another year or two to get serious game time, because I think
How did you get on the bench, Rich?
I think we, as we settle in, are going to have to start at times putting some of our senior players in need of rest, being able to actually let them put their feet up and have a proper rest, and not have them primed to come on.
Has that bit not gone, though? And what I mean by that is we're about to come into the business side of the season. That isn't the time Pep usually takes his first teamers out of the squads. Do you get what I mean? I do see the argument of maybe he should have played some of the kids earlier. I think it's but this is my opinion. I think it's too late for some of them. Because on Sunday, when you look at that bench, Rich, when you look at the bench we had, and I'm just going to get it fully up now, the actual bench we had on Sunday was Max Alleyne, Grealish, Lewis, McAtee, Semedo, Bernardo, Umemba, O'Reilly, Ortega. John Stones is now back, yeah? So you can take Max Alleyne out for that, yeah? John Stones goes in.
Yeah.
I presume we're keeping Rico on, yeah? McAtee comes out for Mamouche, or well, we'll tell you what, we'll keep McAtee in for now. Divin Mwambamba comes out, Mamouche comes in, O'Reilly comes out, Victor Hayes comes in. Then you've either got to take McAtee or Lewis out to get Ushinov in, and we've not even got anyone else come in yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think there'll be questions around someone like Victor Hayes, whether he's straight onto the bench.
Pep said
that's
he is.
Going to depend.
That's
good. Pep said Pep says they're ready, but Pep would also say that O'Reilly and Wright, etc., are ready. So they're going to be competing, the kids, with our own kids. But I think what we need to do, and I guess what I meant about the senior players, Martin, is if we've got Ake properly injured, he needs to stay off the bench until he's really 100% ready to come back and play. Same with Stones. You don't want to put them on the bench if you're going to bring them on and they're only going to get injured again. They need to be given the proper rest. So I think, there'll be some times when Gundogan, Bernardo, possibly De Bruyne, where we say they actually need a rest this week. We don't want to have to bring them on and play them for 50 minutes because that's going to be damaging to the rest of the season. And therefore, we actually, 1 or 2 senior players, I'm not talking about semi-finals of the Champions League or do or die, games, Newcastle in the league or Forest or Chelsea in the league. But I'm saying for games other than those, we've got to be prepared to put a couple of senior players to actually have a proper rest and get properly fit. Because that's what's killed us this season, has been playing players either too much who are fit or playing them when they're a bit injured. And so that's what I mean. If everyone's completely fit, you're spot on. The kids
you're going to have problems. That's all I'm saying. You're going to have problems.
But that's a problem we'd love to have because we've
it's a nice for the first time. Pep's going to have a headache for the right reasons.
Yeah. Let's hope so.
He is. Adam Quinn. Sorry, I need to do this. Juliet has renewed for a 19th month. Thank you so much for your kind and continued amazing support, Julie. Really appreciate that. Then Adam Quinn, who gifted 5 earlier, has doubled down and times it by 4 and literally gifted 20 memberships. Please give a massive thank you. If you have been one of the lucky people to get a gifted membership off the legend that is Adam Quinn, give him a W, say thank you, show him some appreciation and much love. That's what we're all about here on the channel. And thank you to Conor Rugby for renewing for a 6 month as well. And what does that mean, Pat?
Perhaps a happy clapper like you.
More than you believe. More than you believe I'm happy.
Unless of an intention sake.
Yeah, like Lenny said, no, it was great seeing you, mate. Really do appreciate that. So, yeah, considering, yes, they're looking at Douglas Luiz, but from what I'm hearing tonight, people aren't impressed with him. So we'll have to see. What happened to Doku? Don't know. Just got injured, so we know. Obviously, we just talked about that. Pardo, when everyone's fit, I think there's going to be problems. We'll see. Nice problems. But the one thing I will say is what Pat and Rich and Pardo, you've all alluded to here. I think it will depend on the other players, how much game time they want. If McAtee is, I want more than 10 minutes right now, then he needs to go. If he's willing to be patient and just be okay with 5 or 10 minutes, then I think he's all right. Same with O'Reilly. It will come down to what these young players want. That's what it will come down to for me. I know who the guy you mean. You're on about Grimaldo. Who City I've looked at.
For about 10 years.
My man of the match obviously was Gundogan, but it's the first game I could have come away giving man of the match to 5 players. I could have given it to Foden, could have given it to Kovacic, could have given it to Doku. I gave it to Gundogan. Others gave it to Kovacic. I don't know where you guys stand with it. Who was your man of the match before we move on to PSG?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go with Phil, but honestly, yeah, you could have had about 5 honourable mentions in there. So,
yeah, I think
Chris. I take it Chris, he's an Arsenal fan, but he's not watched them play because he's saying they're the best team in England.
To be
clearly
fair,
watching Arsenal with his eyes closed.
To be fair, Arsenal are so unlucky. I mean, they've dropped like 25 points, and they're all because of bad refereeing decisions. You know, I've never seen an unlucky.
Oh, but you didn't hear them. You didn't hear them say the referee helped them on at the weekend when they got a corner when it was never a corner.
Yeah, they're so unlucky. It's incredible. I never thought anyone could get unluckier than the Red Scouts, but Arsenal have taken it to a new level of unluck. They'd probably already have the Champions League won if it wasn't for bad luck and poor refereeing decisions.
I think he'll stay. I think it's the summertime. Listen, keep Chris in. He's allowed in. We like a bit of banter. Don't ban him. We do like a bit of banter here on the channel. Pat, who was your man of the match?
Just repeating what I said. Yeah, Phil Foden, but honourable mention to about 4 or 5 other players.
Oh, what, you're repeating what you said on LB? All right, then. Right.
No, just repeating what I did 30 seconds ago.
I'm joking. Me and Pat have got this needle at the minute. Anyway, let's move on to PSG tomorrow night. How are you all feeling about it? Because I can give you a little bit of a rundown at the moment. Atalanta beat Sturm Graz earlier 5-0. Monaco beat Villa 1-0. Atletico and Bayer Leverkusen are at 1 each. Benfica are currently beating Barca 4-3. Bologna are currently beating Dortmund 2-1. Bruges and Juventus are in a 0-0.
Barca just scored. It's 4-4.
They're at 4-4 now. There you go. Yeah, Liverpool managed to scrape themselves a 2-1 win against Lille. PSV are 3-2 up away at Red Star Belgrade, otherwise known as
Crvena Zvezda.
There you go.
Why are you asking me to say it?
Because I can't. The biggest result.
So you're admitting it.
The biggest result, Manchester City-wise, is Stuttgart are 2-1 up away at Slovan Bratislava. That's the one City needed to keep the eye on. Because when you look at the Stuttgart table, City are now currently 24th in the table. So they are literally just above that dropout zone on goal difference.
And
right
PSG
now.
are currently 26th.
PSG are 26. Stuttgart have jumped up to 21st. Now, Tomorrow night, for me, people have said it's a must-win, and I think they'll look at the league now and they'll go must-win. I'm thinking right now the Club Brugge one is more of a club must-win than a PSG. But it'd be nice to get a win against. What I would say tomorrow, people are saying tomorrow's a must-win, and I understand that. I would say, for me, tomorrow is more of a must-not-lose. Club Brugge is the must-win. Tomorrow is a must-not-lose. 4 points, we're all right. We're going to be in the qualifier.
You know, there's something like I'm sure I saw it in one of the the supercomputer things. Is if we beat Bruges, regardless of Paris, it's about 94% chance we'll go through. That might be down to about 91 because Stuttgart won, but we'd be beating Bruges. We're almost certainly going to make the knockouts. If we beat Paris and Bruges, we could be outsiders to be, close, if not in the top 8. But I think really, if we beat Paris, I'd say we're through.
Yeah, we beat Paris. I would say
beat Paris, we're through. We draw. Then as long as we don't screw up against Bruges, we're through. But even if we lose to Paris, if we beat Bruges, that it's very unlikely we won't go through.
Dynamo Zagreb. Who do they? I don't know who they play. But anyway, at the moment, I think if we win tomorrow, I think we're through. Yeah, puts us on to 11 points, puts us up to about 18th at that point, or roughly about there, 19th.
Zagreb are playing at the Emirates tomorrow.
Right. So yeah, because Dynamo Zagreb are on 8 points, PSG are on 7, Bologna are on 5. So we need 4 points out of 6. We need
Stuttgart just scored 3-1.
Pardon?
Stuttgart just scored 3-1.
Right. We basically need 4 points out of 6 to get him. And I understand people saying we need a win. There's a difference between we need a win and it's a must win.
Yeah. And then, the last game in the group stage is Stuttgart PSG, which is why if we beat Bruges, we will go above. We will go above one of those two. So there's games that are in our favour.
Yeah, that Stuttgart PSG game is the helper for us.
Yeah,
because one of them are dropping points, or both.
Yeah, that's a do or die. That's a do or die for that. That's why if we beat Bruges, I think we're pretty much through, regardless of PSG. But if we beat PSG, we're already through. And then Bruges is just about, can we somehow sneak into the 8th place or something, which is not impossible.
Do we know if there's any absentees from PSG? Because last I checked, I heard Marquinhos and somebody big in their team was out injured as well. I'm trying to remember who. Hang on.
I can have a look.
Currently, no, according to this, it looks like Marquinhos is back.
Yeah, there's no injuries.
Yeah.
Now, I will just make this because people may ask this. None of the new signings can play till the 2nd of Feb. You've got to go with what you've got to go with. Yes, it is true. Rodri has troubled for the camaraderie. He's not playing before everyone starts panicking. He's not playing. Usherov and probably Victor Hayes will trouble as well. Just a bit of team bonding, that sort of thing. Mamouche may even trouble. Because the one thing I will say is, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I'd say PSG is more must win for them tomorrow. Does that help us? The fact is, it's going to be a very open game. Because PSG have got to win. They've got to come hell for leather with us tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think their last game was hard.
Each other?
No, I just had to go and make sure everyone was up in my house.
Have you seen this? Like on the phone. Only professional one in everyone.
I'm looking at the fixtures so I can comment.
I think
on
that's keeping updated with all the scores that are coming in.
Well, Alvarez just scored for Madrid, Atletico.
I'd rather one leg. I don't want to see Rodri for the rest of the season. Alternative facts. I don't want to see him at all. Yeah, you are right. Alvarez has scored 2-1 to Atletico. So, I mean, what would you change? Do you think with Bernardo and Semedo, obviously Doku's out. No, Kavish, I can't say his name, cannot play tomorrow.
Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, he cannot play, no. Cannot play. I'm presuming Bernardo plays and Semedo plays, especially with Doku being injured.
Yeah.
No idea they'll be 98. No idea what's happened.
It's a curious case of PSG because, we think about the previous times where we played them, in the group stages and knockouts as well too. And, one thing we've always done is, I think the exception is obviously that 2-0 loss against when Messi was playing for him. And let's be honest, if those 2 goals, don't let that fool you. We were the best team on the pitch that day. We just couldn't hit the onion bag. That was all. But every time we've played them, we've always played a very, very patient style of football, almost to the point of where we allow them to sort of self-implode. Because we said before, and I remember leading up to the semi-final when we went on that Champions League run a few seasons back, was you need to be patient with a team like that because they get very impatient. And I've always said the problem with PSG is that they're just constant. They've always been constantly a team of individuals. Individually, every player on that team is brilliant. But as a cohesive unit, there's always question marks about the way they play. And I know, fair play to PSG, they're sort of gone. They're going away from that sort of French Galacticos sort of,
yes, they are.
Tag that they had for so many years, and they've gone a bit smarter, and they've got a great manager in Luis Enrique as well. So, look, I don't know what sort of PSG to expect, but I still think that when you still got a decent amount of players in that squad that still probably live by that sort of locker room, that sort of clubhouse mentality and things like that, I still think that they are a team that can be got at. And as PSG have proved before, that just because you dominate your domestic league doesn't reflect to anything that you can do in Europe. So, if anything, I think given the way some of the teams lower in the leagues in France play, they'd actually probably cause us more headaches in a Champions League game than say PSG should. So I think we need to be confident with that. I think the problem is that they've always got question marks, no matter when you play them. And until they actually change the way that they play, or if they're actually able to go on another sort of dominant Champions League run, or maybe even one day win one, I'm sorry, but they're always going to have that sort of identity hanging over their head, and they need to sort of shake that. They need to change the culture in a way, because I think you can. The proof is there by the way that we do things. We don't go and just try sign the biggest signing out there all the time. We take good players, we turn them into superstars. They all always buy the ready-made product, and that might be all well and good, but at the end of the day, if it's not going to create a team cohesion, then you're always going to be sort of sitting on the edge of being a great team, but never ever been able to get over the line. So I think we've always got to be confident whenever we play them. So yeah, if we just play our game plan like we've done with them before, I think we'll get the job done.
I looked at Neil's lineup there, and I think it will be Edison. I think it will probably be Nunes. I think the back four will set itself. Nunes, Akanji, Diaz, Camadio. I think it will be Kovacic, Bernardo, Foden, KDB. I think it'll be Savinho and Haaland. That's my only deviant from your 11, Neil. I think it'll be Savinho over Grealish. That'll be the only one. I was just looking at some of PSG's results in this competition, which I can tell you. They beat Girona on game week 1. They beat them 1-0.
Lucky to get them too.
They then played Arsenal. They got beat 2-0 at the Emirates. They drew 1-1 at home to PSV Eindhoven. They then played Atletico Madrid at home, and they got beat 2-1. They then played, who did they play then? Salzburg, and they beat them 3-0 away. And then they played, where is it? No, then it's down to us. Oh, Bayern Munich as well. They got beat 1-0 away at Bayern Munich. So they've only won one home game. They won one, lost one, drawn one. Bit like us. in this competition. I think we've got a very similar record. Bonsari from Paris. Hello, City Luke. Hope you're all right, mate. And you got there safely. Hope you are you on your way to the what's it called? What's it called? Where they all meeting?
The pub that Big Steve posted.
Yeah, is Ali there? Has Ali turned up, Luke? You know, I'll get you on Big Up. You want to come on Big Up, mate? I'll send you a link to Big Up because we're going to be live on Big Up as well after this.
Oh, the bootleg. It was the bootleg.
Bootleg.
Yeah,
are you at the bootleg? Let me know. So if you do want to, I'll get you on. You can come on the bootleg. So we are going to be on Big Up.
So if anyone's in Paris looking for a blue pub to go to, it's called Bootleg, which is on 55 Rue de la Roquette. Actually, I'll put it.
Left.
Sorry.
What do you mean you've left?
He's left the pub, maybe.
Are you not at the bootleg? Where are you now then? Thought you were at the bootleg. I stayed for a bit with Stay and that, but left pizza and I'm in bed. Right, well, let me know and I'll get you onto the Big Up one. We're going to go live on Big Up in about 15 minutes. So you can come on. Let me know. But hey up, Luke. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I'm excited for it. I really am excited for tomorrow. I'm looking forward to a good game. I think we're in some good form. We're 6 undefeated, which I think is huge for us. 6 undefeated is huge. That's why I'm not saying it's a must win, because for me, I want to keep this unbeaten run going for as long as we can. Get that rhythm going, get that confidence back, and you can see that confidence is starting to come back a little bit. I think it's partly down to injuries coming back better. I think it's partly because they've got new players coming in. I think it's giving everyone that lift they needed. Pep Guardiola looks like a different man. Erling Haaland's taking the piss in I've never seen Erling Haaland do press conferences before. Signs a 10-year deal. He's sat in front of the camera going, yeah, bollocks to Real Madrid. Like, come on, what are you doing? Yep. It's like everyone's just changed the tone around.
I think everybody, I don't watch a lot of the press conferences, but apparently a few people in the chat were saying he had a big old smirk on his face when they asked about
when have you known Erling Haaland sit in a press conference and do anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Erling's not the guy you normally send out to a presser.
No.
It's normally Ruben or someone. Yeah, so, yeah, and by the way, he said he did know about the 115. He just had to keep quiet about it. I like the way Pep did it. He went, what do you think about the 115? He said, was that a quit? And the reporter kept going and Pep going, eh? It's a long contract, that, isn't it? It's like, he's not going to answer you. He's not going to answer you. 500 million will... 500 million?
Well, that's, you know, they're just...
probably he's like overall his wages for like the next 10 years. Yeah.
Not quite that, but getting close.
We look very, by the way, yeah, we did look very good with Ruben Diaz back. Very, very good with Diaz back. I think he adds that level of calmness, that experience, that everything we need. And by the way, we have lost games with Diaz back. It's not Diaz is undefeated. We have lost games with Diaz back. But he does add that little bit more confidence. That little bit more.
I think Diaz is number one, and I think, you know, after him, Stones is probably the second most, you know, dominant.
Before we go, I have got a question to ask, and I'm sorry to ask this question. Why are so many City fans wanting Ushanov to get a red card straight away? I've seen everyone say, I want Ushanov on his debut to go in and just drop someone. I'm like, no, what are you doing? Stop. Like, no, we don't want him red carded instantly.
Well, the thing is, he hasn't actually, his record of cards is not bad at all. His record of cards is no...
He's just served a suspension after getting a red card.
Yeah, games. I think he's had one. I think he got
12 game break. That's not good.
I think it was against PSG, wasn't it?
So what he's saying is he's not composed in big games.
No, I'm just saying that you know, it's not like he's played 50 games and had 10 reds and 20 yellows.
He's not a Ramos, basically. He's not the Uzbekistani Ramos.
He's physical, and in many ways, you should be able to get get away with being more physical in the Premier League than otherwise.
Yeah, massive. By the way, I'm watching City Live earlier, during the press conference. You should have seen all the Uzbekistanians. I don't know if that's the right tone. I apologize if I've said that incorrectly. I don't mean any offense, but the amount of fans that were from Uzbekistan in that press conference was unreal.
Yeah.
You can see the influence. They're
just say Uzbeks. Uzbeks is like.
I know. I'm going to do proper. I want to make sure I'm saying it correct. The one thing I will say, this thing is, I think you need to get people's names right. I think when you say a name wrong, it's a bit rude for me. I want to pay people with a proper compliments.
Yeah. That's why for all those years I was telling you it's Jesus, not Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shut up.
Do you know, actually, Rich, do you know what I find even more amusing? Is the fact that Martin's actually got the surname right for this young new Brazilian defender, but he still butchers the first name, which is the easier part.
All right.
You keep calling him Victor. You keep calling him Victor. Victor's the name of a lawnmower company out here in Australia. It's Vitor. Right. Vitor Hayes.
Vitor Hayes.
Spartacus, are you in the chat? Tell me that he's saying it right.
Yeah, hang on a minute.
Is it Vitor Hayes?
No, I'm not having it.
Vitor Hayes. Say it. Vitor Hayes.
Fee, spot on. Rich calls Lewis Rico. Who the frig's Rico?
Rico.
But he doesn't. But you know it's funny too. Rich doesn't call him Nico O'Reilly. Still calls him Nico, but he can't say Rico.
Yeah. Oh! Billy Meredith. Nico. Billy Meredith.
Meredith.
What?
Yeah.
I thought it was the Mancunian way, not the pronunciation way.
Well, it wasn't until you bloody butchered Red Star Belgrade.
Cheers, Outdoor Bench. Cheers, mate. Take care. We are going to wrap up in 2 minutes. What I'm going to do is I am going to send you over the link for Big Up, which I can do now. Have you two got anything you want to add?
No.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Nothing. I just want to sit here low key, not getting attention. But I think a draw in Paris, 1-1. I'll add that.
Okay. I'm just going to tell you that we're going to do analytical viewpoint of Ipswich. And then we will plus do a short calling show over on Big Up. It is free to come and join. We're trying to get to 250 community members on there because once we get to 250, it opens up a massive array to us where we can start showing actual highlights of games. We've got to get to 250 community members though. See, he says raise, not raise. So is he saying his name wrong?
Yes.
I think he knows his own name, Pat.
No, but the reason why I say that is because all you have to do is add the letter A into his last name, and it's Reais, which is the national currency, and they call it Reais.
Why is he put Yoshi Gavadio?
Yoshko.
Oh. Anyway, right. Like I said, there is the link for the Big Up. Please share that around. There we're going to be live in 10 minutes. It's completely free to join. Analytical viewpoint in Ipswich. Plus, we will do a live calling show for a little bit. Yeah, thank you, gentlemen, for joining. We do appreciate it. You want to come and join us over on Big Up? You're more than welcome.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't send you a link. You've got to sign up yourself and do it all yourself and join the community. It's all right. Right. It's not like this. Rich knows what I mean. But if you want to come up, we can have a chat with the people. We're going to start that around about 10:15, trying about 10 minutes. We'll be back tomorrow with post-match on PSG. We won't be a watch-along because I'm going to watch it with my dad tomorrow. That's why we're doing Big Up tonight. I'm going to watch it with my dad, and then we'll do a post-match live on here tomorrow. And then Thursday night chat will be back. Friday, I'm off. I'm gonna Friday. I'm off. I'm spending a night with my other half. We're going on date night, and then Saturday we'll be back for Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
So loads
Happy days,
and loads,
gentlemen.
and loads.
Happy days.
And then obviously Club Brugge and Chelsea, and then it's manic. We've got loads coming up here on the Mancunian way. But I will say this, we are 27 away from 5,000. That is nothing. And don't forget, you're going to get 2 home shirts, a home shirt or a shirt of your choice, and 2 Manchester City tickets subject to availability of your choice when we hit that big 5K. So please smash that thumbs up. Send much love to you all. Thank you to everyone who was gifted tonight. You know you are, from Adam to Connor to professional Martin Appiclapper, Julie, MCFC, and everyone with your amazing comments. You are not just members, you're not just subscribers, you are family members. We are a community, we always will be, and that's what we're about. Take care. I'll see you over in Big Up in 10 minutes. Take care, all.
Laters.